Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in!
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Sacker down by the end line. Pushes across. Lose your eye! And just like that, 1-1. Now Elders may look to take a shot. He does, and he buries it! Steps up, and just like that, Reed Dennis comes up big. Lose your eye, one-on-one. Lose your eye. Oh, he'll be taken down inside the box.
Knocks back in. Nationals got it. Bicycle kick for a goal!
Now Sacker. Sacker into the 18. Sacker shot. That goes off the goalkeeper's glove into the net. 2-1 here in the 32nd. This one played in. That's a good ball. And that one goes in. And just like that, the Nationals now have a 1-0 lead. Walensky puts his far post. One-touch opportunity. And what a great goal that was.
Joaquin Beatty of Ohio League.
Look at that shot from Sevy Roy. My goodness, Sevy Roy with a left-footed banger.
We are the MHSAA, a collection of 750 high schools and 750 middle schools, from Temperance to Copper Harbor, from New Buffalo to Alpena. Each year, more than 250,000 students play one of our 28 sports. More than 1.5 million fans attend our postseason games. There are 30,000 coaches and 8,000 officials, not to mention all of the volunteers. The MHSAA believes in the 4 S's. School sports should be safe and kept in the appropriate scope. We believe nothing beats great sportsmanship, and that scholarship in the classroom is more important than excellence on the field or court. Most of all, we believe school sports should be fun. So come out and join us at a game. Support your school, support your community, and come see what the excitement is all about.
Voice of Michigan Student Athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We were responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic students can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game. We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while maintaining a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Are you looking to take your game to the next level? Did you know that MSN is now offering player recruitment videos? Our packages include a player profile where you show your preferred positions, the club, the league, or school that you play in, your current coach contact information, and more. The highlight videos could be self-submitted, 15 to 30 clips that will be put into a 3 to 7 minute long video. Video review of your Huddle, VO, or other platforms that you might have video on, as well as for an additional charge, MSN can come out and film games for you to create those clips. Our coach evaluation process, which is also an additional charge, where we have college coaches from various levels across the United States that will review your game film and provide feedback on how to improve that film, as well as also evaluating your play and what you can improve on. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Our mission is to help players take their game to the next level and reach their potential. Not only do we help develop fundamental technical skills such as ball control in tight spaces with different surfaces, dribbling at speed and changing direction, using a variety of 1v1 skills to create space, receiving on a half turn, hook turn, and out of the air, finishing off the dribbling, one-touch, volleys, and headers. We help players get comfortable performing these skills at game speed with pressure and with both their dominant and non-dominant foot. In addition, we help players with their speed of play, awareness of space, defenders and teammates, and also dominate with our off-the-ball movement. We offer a variety of services such as one-on-ones, small groups, large groups, as well as team sessions. We have an experienced coaching staff that is professional, friendly, patient, while still holding players to high standards and holding them accountable. No matter what level you're at as a player, I'm confident we can help you get better. Over the past 3 years, we've built one of the best soccer-specific training facilities in the country and developed one of the most detail-oriented programs to help out players. Visit our website.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
The following is a presentation of the Michigan Soccer Network. And for Baccarat, and that goes in!
Buckley. Oh, the ball falls to Buckley. One-on-one with Etheridge. What a save!
Welcome into the first ever MSN All-State Media Day for girls soccer. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrett.
Ball comes in, a good head! 1-0! Shot, another save from Etheridge! Rebound, and it goes in the back of the net. The Bulldogs up 1-0! Burzma, but then for Vlasma! 3-0! Stewart Heiss with a shot! Upper 90 and in!
Effectively today here on the Michigan Soccer Network, we are launching our new division of player recruitment videos.
Mario Canoe now finds Stock. Finds Stock's got a left-footed banger. He shoots it, and it's in! The Red Hawks equalize!
And welcome back in on the Michigan Soccer Network. Part 2 of our doubleheader action here today as we get ready for SEAHOLM, the Maples, taking on number 5 ranked Rochester Adams. In this matchup, another OAA Red showdown between these two teams. We get a look at Adams warming up as they get ready to go. Nate Wangler alongside Alex Johnson. And Alex, it says a lot about your conference when you're a team like SEAHOLM so far this season, who has gone 8-3-2 on the year, just won 1-2 in conference play, and you're not even in the top 5 in your own conference. That shows how strong this conference is. But Greg Perkins, into his second season as the head coach of this team, were recently introduced to the OAA Red Conference just a season ago. But their last time out, a 2-1 win over Detroit Country Day. They haven't lost since September the 5th in a loss against Troy High, who's had a really good season so far this year, but it doesn't get any easier coming in to this game against Adams. What have you seen out of them so far as we get a look on the other side? There's Josh Hickey and his coaching staff for Adams getting ready to go for this ball game here today. But when you look at this matchup against a Rochester Adams team, which is stacked with a lot of talented players, what do they need to do on the SEAHOLM side to come out on top?
Yeah, it speaks a lot, Nate, about how great this conference is. The OAA Red, one of the top conferences in the state, based on everyone is just so close and neck with each other. And we talk about Birmingham SEAHOLM here tonight, and they're coming off a huge win against our top team in the Division III poll, Detroit Country Day, a 2-1 win. Had some senior leadership, able to get some really key goals. Late in the game, they had a penalty kick, that helped them really seal the edge against the top team in Division III in Detroit Country Day. They've been on a roll. They had some really good wins, over that stretch since their loss against Troy on September 5th, beating Ann Arbor Pioneer, Bloomfield Hills, West Bloomfield, tying with Oxford last Monday, and then picking up some wins last week against Clarkson and Stony Creek. So Greg Perkins is going to have this team looking to get another huge win here tonight to keep this winning streak going. And then when you take a look at Rochester Adams, they're another good team. They'll be looking to get another huge win here tonight.
More of that coming up next. We'll take a step aside, be right back. Michigan Soccer Network.
He'll cut it back on his left foot, and that goes in! Towards the 6, a one-time shot, and it's 2. Now one with Etheridge, what a save! One-time shot! My goodness! One finds his way to the back.
And we're back, Michigan Soccer Network. Nate Wangler alongside Alex Johnson, another OAA Red Conference showdown. Alex, we were talking a little bit about SEAHOLM before we went to break. You know, it's interesting to think that we're actually winding our way towards the finish of this 2024 regular season. It felt like just a day ago that the season had begun, but we talked about SEAHOLM on the other side for Rochester Adams. You want to talk about a squad that's starting to gel more and more and really put together a good push towards the end of this 2024 campaign. Look no further than this Rochester Adams team led by Josh Hickey, their head coach. They've outscored their opponents 10-1 in their last 3 games. There is a whole lot of talent top to bottom. You got to see Reed Dennis in goal before we went to commercial break, but it really is impressive to see the camaraderie and all those players coming back from the academies as well. You got 5 different players coming back on this team. You got a lot of Division I prospects, but it's one thing to have talent. It's another thing to be able to put that talent together and go out and win some games. Clearly seems like Adams is starting to figure out how to do both of that.
Yeah, Coach Josh Hickey has done a phenomenal job this season. We're bringing these guys in. We mentioned all the talent they bring in, no Division I talent, no thing from academy and things like that. No, having talent like that gives yourself an edge, and they're really loaded coming into this season. You were on the call last week, and their 1-0 win at Troy, a huge win for them to bump them up into the top 5 in our Division I poll here, as we have their starters coming out here for all the teams coming out here right now. But I'm looking for Adams here tonight. Is, you know, a SEAHOLM team trying to get a win here at home to knock out one of the top teams in the state here right now. Well, hopefully Adams will be able to keep the momentum going after they picked up a win on Thursday, 8-0 against Bloomfield Hills. And from top to bottom, you got to be ready, you know, if you're SEAHOLM here tonight against Adams.
You can take a look at some highlights from the game we had a little bit earlier. Plymouth Christian and Oakland Christian. Mr. Levine, Leonardo Levine, that is, for Plymouth Christian, was the name of the game in that one. He was the star player on the side of the Eagles. Had a goal early in that first half, came back, was able to add another one. That made it a 2-0 lead in an MHSAA Blue matchup. Oakland Christian able to get a late goal in that one, but it wasn't enough to climb back in. That one inside of 10 minutes, but Plymouth Christian able to batten down the hatches and get that much-needed win in conference play. So that was a look at our game from a little bit earlier here on the Michigan Soccer Network. And how about Plymouth Christian starting to put together a good finish to the 2024 campaign? That conference is really up for grabs. You think there's 4 separate teams in an MHSAA Blue Conference in Division IV that realistically 4 teams that could win. Oakland Christian starting to fall out of that picture a little bit, but Plymouth on the other side doing a good job getting back into the conversation.
Yeah, that was a huge win for them against one of their rivals in their conference, and you and Dan Sticker were talking about it, especially with the teams in that conference, Allen Park City Baptist and Bloomfield Hills Roper. No, that's another strong conference against a lot of the smaller schools in Division IV, and Plymouth Christian Academy have always been near one of the top in that league over the last few seasons. Looking to make a late season push and make some noise here in the playoffs, and they could be a dark horse coming out of Division IV.
Getting ready to watch both of these two teams. SEAHOLM on the right side of your screen, Adams on the left side. History between these two teams. Well, SEAHOLM hasn't lost to Adams since their introduction to the OAA Red Conference just a season ago. We'll get our anthem into the mix, and then it's game time here in the Michigan Soccer Network.
My name is David Stella, First Lieutenant, United States Army. My name is Dave Champagne, PFE in the Marine Corps. My name is Rick Spicer. I served in the Army, came out as an E5 sergeant.
Ladies and gentlemen, the privilege of this event was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy.
Let us now honor and respect their efforts and our country. Civilian gentlemen, please remove your hats.
All veterans and active duty military,
Please render the appropriate salute.
and everyone able, please stand at attention, placing your hand over your heart as we proudly sing our national anthem.
And here we go. Just about ready to take off. Here's SEAHOLM and Rochester Adams. Nate Wangler alongside Alex Johnson. And obviously, as we wind our way towards the end of this campaign, you know, I don't really know if SEAHOLM is necessarily in the conversation to win the conference, but one of the greatest pleasures in sports is sometimes if you can't win it yourself, maybe play spoilers to one's foe as they are facing off against an Adams team who right now is looking at a potential conference title. And not only that, Alex Johnson, but they're also looking back to get back to a state championship. Won one in 2022. They're looking to collect their second one in 3 years. So SEAHOLM, again, who is still relatively new to this OAA Red Conference, looking to pull off the upset here today, and a perfect time to do so on their home turf.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with one of the top 5 teams in the state coming in here today. Rochester Adams looking to climb their way up into the OAA Red and clinch a division title. There's been some tough competition as well. They're right up in the thick of things, with Oxford, Troy, Athens, and Troy right there, and then Berkeley right below them. But looking at it here today, I think they're going to try to keep the pedal to the metal here. It's going to be a tall task for SEAHOLM here. No, doesn't matter the situation, playing either at home or away. But no, they're going to look to get the job done here and try to get a win closer into kind of getting some momentum here and into the playoffs.
You saw Reed Dennis on the left side of your screen in the light blue, the baby blue, 6'4" in net. It says 6'5" on the roster, but we know how roster heights work sometimes. But Dennis, another Division I prospect, and one of the biggest reasons why Adams has been able to get hot as of late, as we are underway in our OAA Red Showdown here on the Michigan Soccer Network. Nate Wangler, Alex Johnson, a big thank you to everybody joining us here today. These two teams look to finish strong. In net on the other side, by the way, Brody Feldmayer in goal as we get a look at our poll here tonight, our live poll. All the people watching on our live stream, majority of them are thinking that Rochester Adams will pull it out, 58%. Not a whole lot thinking this one will end in a draw. Just 8% of the people watching this game thinking that will end in a scoreless tie. First corner of the game right away, inside of a minute here for Adams, as they'll line it up in the corner. Alex Rosen was the one, or Rosen, rather. Rosine was the one charging towards the goal. As it's sent out now, corner kick here for Adams inside of a minute. Towards net, and a save. Feldmayer able to jump up and grab that one with 2 hands.
Yeah, he did his job, able to just leap up, and looking right there he was looking for Jamison Smith, but Feldmayer able to make the stop early on here in this one. You don't want to surrender an early goal within the first 90 seconds.
So look at our weather situation here tonight. 70 degrees on the dot, partially cloudy. That sun's starting to peek through a little bit. What was interesting is at earlier game we had, Oakland Christian and Plymouth Christian, the rain was coming down in buckets during that game. And then you go 15 minutes away to SEAHOLM High School, and it's sunshine and rainbows and and everything else as both teams were getting ready for this game. So the unpredictability of the weather today creating an interesting situation. You could say in Detroit, Metro Detroit, basically this entire area. The Tigers were actually delayed a little bit earlier today, so it's been rain in and out of this area. But for this one here tonight in this OAA Red matchup, looks like we'll be okay. Adams, a turnover in a good spot. Feet up ahead. Little hezzy in front, and it rolls in. Logan Lilla. Rosine on the assist. Fancy footwork. In just over 2 minutes in, it's a 1-0 edge for Adams. Look at this.
Oh, just absolutely fooled him. Feldmayer falling down on the turf, unable to make the play, and just a little tapper into the goal. Scoring a little over 2 minutes in here, Nate, and just incredible work. And that's why Adams, able to make those kind of plays like that, it really shows how deep this team is and how much talent they have. And they're going to make SEAHOLM work here tonight and doing a little bit of plays like that. Didn't have to do anything flashy or anything fancy like that. Lil just able to maybe fall down just a little bit and just tap it in for the goal.
Oh, we've been talking about this. Just wait until this team meshes. Wait until they figure out how to play together with all the new faces and all the new personalities they've been introducing to this team, once they figure it out, just watch them go. SEAHOLM trying to flip it on them here. And kind of frustrating at the same exact time, too. You saw Feldmeyer on the other side try to anticipate where that shot would come from, fell to the ground, and it just rolled past him into the back of the net. Little combination of good footwork, good passing on the part of Adams, but Logan Lilla didn't have to put a ton on that one to sneak it past and get that early 1-0 goal. And that's a tough place to be for SEAHOLM, too. You don't want to play from behind in a matchup like this, but Logan Lilla just over 2 minutes into this matchup, giving Adams the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that's just, it's a backbreaker for SEAHOLM, but Feldmeyer was trying to get himself in the right position. Lilla able to take advantage of it on that mistake, and we'll see how SEAHOLM responds here. No, we're so early on in this one, still a lot of time to work with. Especially you don't want to do anything like that, especially when you're trying to get yourself back into the top of the standings in the playoffs. You had a huge win against Country Day in a non-conference game last night.
And that's as close to perfection as you're going to get. One shot, one target, one goal for Adams. And you already see the speed on full display. The offensive depth is another thing that helps. Carlos Carrillo shifts it back up top. Adams already putting SEAHOLM back on their heels. So this one deflects back behind the goal, and a goal kick coming up here for Feldmeyer. Get a look at this goal again, and again Lilla just had to tap it. Feldmeyer trying to jump the route that time, got down to make the save and able to tip it past, celebrating with his teammate there in Rosine in the corner. And exactly what the doctor ordered here in the first few moments for Rochester Adams. Their head coach, Josh Hickey, served as the head coach of this men's program for now over a decade. Also the head coach of the Adams women's team, winning a state title last season, and then got one with the men's program 2 years ago. So, Alex, it really doesn't matter what side you're looking at. Some pretty good soccer teams over at Rochester Adams. They have a knack for getting to state titles and making some noise.
Yeah, they've been able to do that over the last few years. Josh Hickey has been one of the coaches that had a lot of success over the last few years. Looking to bring home another title here this year.
Maybe a chance here. Deflected in front and out of bounds. So a corner kick coming up. Jamison Smith, the one that fortunately cut that one off for Adams. It was the captain on the other side for SEAHOLM. Angelo Nuklaj. First corner here for SEAHOLM. Deep lob and a header that goes awry. Caden Cotilla, the one in the middle of the mix, is Reed Dennis. Very quickly kicks it out. Adams trying to catch SEAHOLM napping a little bit here. This one sent out of bounds here near side, just over 6 minutes into this first half.
Yeah, the pace of play has been really on Rochester Adams' side. They've been pushing the ball up relatively quickly, and SEAHOLM is having a difficult time to get back. But just see what the style of play that Adams brings to the table. They like to play up pace, up tempo, and not just just be quick down the field with it.
Back into the possession of SEAHOLM, now 6.5 in. Talking about Josh Hickey, the head coach of the Rochester Adams squad, against second place in conference right now. 3-1-1 mark in conference play. Head coach of this men's soccer team for a long time. Also founder and owner of the Hickey Academy. He's been training a lot of athletes, soccer players over on the east side of the state. So a lot of familiarity with players, not just in this program at Rochester Adams, but a lot of the players in general in this area. Good ball up ahead. And an offside's called. SEAHOLM wasting no time, moving back the other direction.
Yeah, just a little bit ahead of the last defender on SEAHOLM, and the official got him an easy target and called him for offside. And that
one almost fed through. Reed Dennis, pretty routine onto his foot. Again, in those baby blues here tonight with the red gloves.
It speaks a lot, for Coach Hickey to have that, that academy to help and build a lot of these young these talented players looking to get to the next level, and especially with the talent he has right now with 5 Division I commits and a lot of the guys that have played academy ball over the last few years. It just speaks a lot in volume of what the program he's trying to build here at Adams. Scored in the 3rd minute on the goal by Logan Lilla. They had an early goal against Troy on the road last week that ultimately gave them a victory against one of the top programs right behind them.
Able to keep this one in. Header on net, and it's in! Just like that, we're tied. Chase Henderson as SEAHOLM chases down the lead, and it's tied back up at 1.
Just incredible work. Just chasing that one down for SEAHOLM is Angelo Nuclei right over into the goal box on the header. Chase Henderson, wow. He had a PK goal last night against Country Day. One of the big reasons why they were able to get the victory. Coming through again here on back-to-back nights, scoring in the 9th minute.
And what a feed. He was able to walk the tightrope, keep that ball in, cross it into a perfect spot. And credit to the senior and Chase Henderson putting himself in the perfect spot to put that one in. Goal number 7 for him on the season. And it's already 1-1, and we're inside of 10 minutes into the first half. You talked about the pace of play a little bit earlier. You could say both of these two teams trying to pour it on here early.
Yeah, absolutely. SEAHOLM desperately needed that. They didn't want to play around, trying to play catch-up and trying to get up over that mountain top over the course of the game. Able to get one on relatively quickly. Exactly what you needed here tonight against a team like Rochester Adams.
Adams, 1 shot, 1 on target, 1 goal. SEAHOLM, 1 shot, 1 on target, 1 goal. In a 1-1 tie inside of 10 minutes, 9:06. Isn't that something?
Yeah, couldn't be perfect on your first shot.
I don't expect that trend to continue in this game, but never say never. There's another look at the live poll, and you see those numbers changing in real time. It was above 70% in favor of Rochester Adams. Now SEAHOLM drawing the game at 1 apiece. And what a response after giving up that early goal. Those are big momentum builders if you're able to get them.
Absolutely. You don't want to able to get one right away off the bat. After allowing that early goal by Logan Lilla on a play that you thought you were maybe going to get a save on by Brody Feldmeyer, but you're able to pick yourself back up, not put yourself down in a hole, and just great work right there.
And an offsides called. What looked like a good opportunity. Looked like that was the aforementioned Chase Henderson trying to chase that one down in the box. Gets whistled for an offsides. Here's another look at this goal.
Yeah, both teams with offsides. Let's see what Henderson did. Just had it off the bottom. And the goalkeeper did not know where that was going.
Well, and a good feel for Henderson, too, working his way into the middle of that zone between a couple of different Adams defenders. Able to net that one. This one headed away out of bounds just past 10 minutes, now 10.5 here into the first half. Of course.
It's also a good testament for these teams here tonight. So the playoffs looming. Get yourself a taste of what the playoffs are going to be like. Especially going to have a lot of tough competition coming around in the middle of October to the end.
Adams with the ball here, working it back into their own defensive zone. Of course, you and I were chatting about this a little bit earlier. OAA Red featuring some of the best soccer in the state of Michigan. There you get a look. Chase Henderson able to knot it up in the 9th minute. But 5 teams currently ranked in the top 10 in Division I. It is one of those conferences where anybody can lose on any given day. Here's Henderson creating depth. Has one go back off of his chest and out of bounds, and that flips the possession here right back to Adams. But number 3, Troy High. Number 4, Troy Athens. Rochester Adams rounding out that top 5 list at number 5. Oxford 6th. Berkeley is number 9 right now in the OAA Red. And obviously they already had the ranking show But that creates interesting matchups like we see here tonight between these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely, because you never want to see, it's going to be interesting to see how these games turn out because you never know who's going to win based on how evenly matched these teams are night in and night out. And it just shows how dominant this conference is and how much a gauntlet is for these players to compete, every time they compete against one of these other top teams. And you got to have that when you come into the playoffs because it gives yourself an edge against other teams that might have better records than you, but their strength of schedule might not be as strong as what you're going to be playing here right now.
Feed into a good spot. Able to slide down and kick that one away. Anthony Pesentini, doing the work on the defensive side. I believe a throw in here for SEAHOLM. Charles Glazer.
And just have to work it back around. Good defense by Adams. Make it send all the way back into SEAHOLM's territory. Now they got to regroup. Not happy after allowing the equalizer this early in the ball game.
Adams back in their own zone, just past 13 minutes. You know what's interesting, too, is you want to finish at the top of the conference, obviously. I mean, that's the goal. It's a tough thing to do, but that is the ultimate goal, at least during the regular season. This one lobbed on. Adams really content with these deep lobs, allowing their attackers to chase after it. It's resulted in one goal and a couple of near opportunities. Good job that time by SEAHOLM holding firm. But you look back at that 2022 season for Adams. Went on to win a state championship, beat Rockford 2-0 in that state final. They finished the regular season third in OAA Red Conference play. Troy Athens was in front of them. Troy ended up winning the regular season conference crown, but Adams was able to mesh at the right time coming into the postseason, ended up beating Troy first round of regionals and shootouts 4-3. This one's smacked on net, but over the net, through the uprights, and out of bounds. Just shy of 15 minutes. Reed Dennis will nudge it to Pesentini, and they'll work their way up the other direction, but it highlights the importance of not selling yourself short. Even if you don't win conference play, it's all about gelling at the right time once you get to the end of the season, once you get deep into October, to give yourself that chance to go out and win a state championship.
Yeah, absolutely, Nate. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And even though at the end of the day, if Rochester Adams finishes either first, second, third, they'll still have a momentum with the talent they have to make another push and to make it to another state championship and win it all. Based on what they have here right now and how they've been playing over the last few weeks has been phenomenal. They mentioned they've been outscoring their opponents 10-1 over the last few games, and everyone is gelling in and buying into Coach Josh Hickey's system. And this is going to be a team they're going to have a tall task no matter who they play in the playoffs. It's not going to be easy, especially in the districts, because everyone's going to be relatively evenly matched. But then when you get into the regional final, the Elite Eight, Final Four, and that's when it's going to matter the most, and you have to play at your top.
Good feed. Good spot. As it knuckles its way into the back of the net. Rosine, an assist, and now a goal. Just 15 minutes in. Adams gets another one. It's 2-1.
Just lobbing it up down the field and hustling for it. Alex Rosine, as Feldmeyer was way out of the box, trying to chase it down, was one of the SEAHOLM defenders. Couldn't get there in time as it went into the net a little too late. And Adams taking the lead back. So we're going to have a stoppage of play.
What'd you say, JT? Oh, now we have a little bit of a situation taking place. So Rosine got that last goal as a goal and an assist now just north of 15 minutes into this first half. And now we're getting word that apparently a parent has been thrown out of the game. So interesting. Just over 15 minutes into the first half. And Alex, all you ask for some nights is an action-packed game And seems like we've had a little bit of everything. Action-packed, a little bit of controversy. Here's you see Rosine with that goal in the 16th minute.
It's been a lot of intensity, and it's been a lot of fun here so far. 3 goals, not even halfway through this first half. And everyone's bringing a lot here, especially in these matchups where everything means so much. Get 3 points into the standings and get yourself into a better position. We'll see how SEAHOLM responds here like they did when they allowed their first goal, almost 3 minutes into the game.
Maybe a near offsides on that last goal, but a good job by Rosine staying in it. Logan Lilla has it taken off his foot. Scooted back the other way. Chase Henderson trying to find another red jersey. A maroon jersey, if you will. Lights are on here at the stadium here at SEAHOLM High School. Of course, it was last year Berkeley won the regular season OAA Red Conference title. Adams kind of stumbled out of the gate in that year. 12-8-1 the finish for Josh Hickey's team. Did end up winning a district title over Utica Eisenhower, but fell to Troy Athens first round of regionals that season. Here's a live look at those current OAA Red standings. So you see Athens, Adams, first 2 on the list. Troy High right behind them at number 3. SEAHOLM, they're second to last on that list, but clearly putting up a fight here in the first half. And talked about it earlier. I got to do the game against Troy High a little bit earlier this season. Troy was actually undefeated going into that matchup. It was an early goal by Adams, but they were able to hold true the remainder of that game. So give credit to SEAHOLM, able to figure out that defensive puzzle here early, but need one more to tie it up. Smoked on net, quickly headed away. Adams. Rosine with room. Feeds it ahead. And a good feed that's kicked out back behind the net, and a corner kick coming up. You talk about some of the college prospects on this Adams team. Logan Lilla, Alex Rosine, 2 of them, and right now absolutely wreaking havoc on this defense for SEAHOLM as they decide to play the short route here. Donato, and a header that's just over top of the goal. Donato found Pesentini. It is offsides. He was just a step in front of that line. It may be fortunate for SEAHOLM. That was a perfect feed. Pesentini just a little bit too strong off of his head. It remains 2-1.
Yeah, trying to see the second header goal we've seen here tonight almost, but officials blew it offside, and it's just a little bit too much. But SEAHOLM has to find an answers for those 2 guys like you mentioned here. Is already trailing by 1, already allowed 2 goals in the first almost 20 minutes of this contest, and you got to be able to find yourself some rhythm here and some momentum. As Rochester Adams has done a really good job moving the ball on their attacking third of the field, finding openings and finding some gaps in the field, and is able to lob some balls down there for some open teammates that SEAHOLM needs to clean up on if they want to have a chance to come away with at least a point here tonight.
There's another look at those numbers for the Highlanders. 2 shots, 2 targets, 2 goals for this team, offensively speaking, so far. And what's the word that comes to mind? Efficiency. Quality over quantity. Here's a stoppage of play, and we have our first card here tonight. Yeah. So being sent off, Evan Sachs for SEAHOLM on a very physical play that time from the backside. So substitution, Drew Stice into the game here for SEAHOLM.
Yeah, a little bit of extra contact. The official realized it and blew his whistle and stopped play. Couldn't afford to do that. It's going to be great field position on this free kick for Adams. Just a little bit past midfield.
Rainbowed towards net. A header, but too strong. Goal kick upcoming. Field Mayer boot this one away here for SEAHOLM, or he'll just play it short as we approach halfway into this first half.
Yeah, they were trying to go for Rosine again to head that one in. The timing was a little bit off. I know he already has one here already here tonight, and he's been the main guy for this team.
Stice tries to find someone on the far side. No maroon jerseys there. Reed Dennis will get the ball back. Well, we want to thank you all for watching today's game on the Michigan Soccer Network on YouTube. Your home for soccer. Hit the subscribe button, like and share this with your friends and family. And the MSN, your one-stop shop for everything soccer in the state of Michigan. Also follow us on social media at MI Soccer Network, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Also got a TikTok account as well. If there's one place to get all your soccer action, your soccer fix in this state, it's here on MSN.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on all social media. We're continuing to grow and develop here on the Michigan Soccer Network, covering all levels of soccer, from college to high school, amateur, youth, semi-pro, professional. We're going to continue to grow day after day, every day here on the Michigan Soccer Network. So make sure to follow us and take a look at all our social media platforms.
SEAHOLM looking for a cross. They'll maintain possession here. There you get a look. Evan Sachs was the one. Ended up drawing a yellow card back in that 13th minute.
There's a little bit of extra contact on that last play. Jamison Smith on Liam Kerr.
And there's Sachs. He goes, what, me? No. You have to sell it, you see. That's a part of the game. Little tie up there. Gives the ball back to Adams. Past 20 minutes now, 21-38 into this first half, and nearly another good feed. Anthony Page was the one trying to get behind the defensive backs. As that one headed out of bounds, though, 21-49. But Nate Wangler alongside Alex Johnson for the second game here today on the Michigan Soccer Network. Brian Yu trots on, replacing, looks like Chase Blackmore will be out of the game here for Adams momentarily. But Jonathan Turner, director of broadcasting, on the ones and twos for this game here today, whose son actually had his first football game today. American football. Playing a little bit as a cornerback. He's got speed, apparently. Knows how to flip those hips. I heard a rumor he was playing on the offensive line on the offensive side of the ball.
I'm looking to on both sides of the ball, offensive linebacker, and especially a lot known young age as they continue to grow and into the high school level in a few years. And
shout out to Jason Crick. Jason Crick, by the way, joining us here on the Michigan Soccer Network, tuning in from Chicago. Go Maples. So one of the SEAHOLM faithful joining us here on MSN. So thanks, Jason, for hopping on with us here today.
I appreciate all the comments that you put down on our YouTube page, and make sure where you're tuning in from tonight, who are you rooting for on this Tuesday night here as we're winding down here in the regular season, Nate, and a lot of good matchups here to come for both of these teams in the last few weeks before the playoffs start.
Flying Saucer said, Defs needs some work. Deefs. Oh, Deefs. Sorry. Thought he was talking about us. We need some work, though, too. Everybody needs work. We all need practice, right, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here. It's not just the players on the field. It's for us as well. We'll see if SEAHOLM is able to clean up things defensively right now, allowing 2 early goals in the first 16 minutes.
Well, Flying Saucer, there hasn't been a whole lot of Deefs in general here tonight. Already a shootout in the making between these two. About 2/3 of the way in. Possession handed off here to SEAHOLM, so it's the Maples and the Highlanders. You were talking about, though, on the Michigan Soccer Network, not just covering high school, but also college and all other levels. You saw that B-roll before the game. Solomon Gamboni says, let's go Henry Ford Falcons. Anyways.
Adams does play Utica Ford on Friday, so they'll be hosting them on Friday night.
Dynamite dropping. There's Solomon. Donato. Denied. In a corner. Upcoming here for Adams, just past the 25th minute.
It looks like
is it?
No, they're going to call it a goal kick.
You're going to say goal kick. I guess that one went off Donato at the last second.
Yeah, a little bit of a change in call, but it benefits SEAHOLM looking to tie the game back up. No, they were able to respond quickly after allowing that third-minute goal by Logan Lilla off a header by Chase Henderson, and they held themselves back apart on that last goal about 10 minutes ago, Nate, and just trying to recover from that and trying to be able to get possession. They haven't really had a lot of time in their attacking third. The possession has been controlled mostly by Adams here tonight based on the style of play they've had and able to read the passes off of SEAHOLM.
This one steered towards net. Dennis a save. That was Henderson trying his luck yet again. Let's get another look at this one. The benefit being 6'4". Didn't have to reach too far, but another good save by Dennis keeps it at 2-1.
And he's showing why he's one of the top goalkeepers in the state and was the senior leader.
Another cross. Maybe fortunately no one was there far side to receive it. Out of bounds for a throw-in here for Adams.
Yeah, they were looking for the sophomore Gavin McLaughlin on that play. Was a little bit too far to get.
And from Go Blue, let's go Punky Goose. I want whatever that guy has. Another offsides. So we march back the other direction. Well, keep them coming. We appreciate you guys chipping in. That'd be a fun mascot, a Punky Goose. What does a Punky Goose look like?
Not sure. Oh,
a goose that's a punk, apparently. Deep, the other direction, and a header that goes awry. Reed Dennis will get the ball back.
The only goose I know was a rally goose from the Tigers back in 2018. Was it 2018 or 17? One of those years.
Of course, the Tigers in playoff position right now actually won their ball game today, so
yeah,
even without the rally goose. Look at that. 25 votes so far. And Rochester Adams, their percentage continuing to go down. People buying into SEAHOLM, potentially getting back into this one. They've had a few opportunities to expose the defense here tonight, just haven't converted on all their chances. This one rolls out right in front of Josh Hickey there at the bottom left part of your screen. But looking like a team who has 8 wins so far on the year. I mean, they are applying good pressure. It's just so tough, obviously, as you and I know, once you get into OAA red play. Stuff hits the fan, if you will.
Yeah, especially for these two teams, playing really strong schedules throughout the course of the season. I mean, relatively evenly matched. Doesn't matter where they are ranking in the standings right now. As Rochester Adams tied for first and SEAHOLM near the bottom, but SEAHOLM's not playing a team like that. They're putting a lot of pressure on Adams here tonight. So we got another offside. So it's going to be the fourth.
Yeah, Donato that time a little too anxious. The Ohio State commit. It's going to be a Buckeye in a year from now, or rather a few years from now, 3 years from now. Couple of boos. Random Aussie joining us again. Hello, Kangaroo people. He was on our last broadcast. He must watch every single one of our games. He's the biggest MSN fan there is.
I appreciate all the fans out there tuning in. Just a casual fan just trying to watch in. And
are Americans all kangaroo people to you, Random Aussie? I've actually never met a kangaroo. I've never seen one in my life. I'd love to. Australia is an expensive trip, though. Tell you what.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm not a big fan of flying either, so there's a couple of problems involved. A really physical play towards midfield. Looked like that was Brian Yu getting ripped down to the ground. No cards come out. Gavin McLaughlin, fighting for positioning. Ball back to Adams.
Yeah,
just outside of 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, getting a little of an extra shove. Just a few yards from midfield, and it's been a little bit physical here. So far, 4 fouls so far in the game. 3 for SEAHOLM, 1 for Adams.
Adams trying to get some insurance here late. Carlos Carrillo trying to chase this one down. And it's a goal kick upcoming here for SEAHOLM. Here's goal number 1 as we take a look back earlier in this game. That was Logan Lilla. And not that long later, the game tying goal, able to save it from going out of bounds. It was Henderson in front. Off of the assist from Nuklaj. And then goal number 3, just getting a piece of it, Feldmayer, but not nearly enough. As Alex Rosine adds not only an assist, but a goal in this first half. There is the aforementioned Rosine chasing down that one as we bleed inside of 10 minutes to go here in the first half. But what a job by him, the senior on this team. As they look for one more. Good ball on. Too strong, though. Feldmayer pulls it into his chest. But really, I mean, the one thing you talk about that really helps teams win a lot is culture. Andrew Weiss chipping in with a Go Maples. What's up, Andrew? Welcome on to the Michigan Soccer Network. Our presentation of this OAA Red Conference play. But, you know, one thing that is a good sign of culture, and every coach talks about culture, right? It's that catchword. Like every coach wants to talk about we have the right culture. Well, sometimes the best sign of a good culture is going out and winning games. But clearly, good sign of culture for this Adams team with how many players they've gotten back from the academies that have wanted to play for this team, maybe in their final season. There is a true concerted effort by everyone in this program to go out and get another state title. Random Aussie chipping in again. I have spider, snakes, and boxing kangaroos here. Yes, that's the one thing about Australia that is terrifying. You have a lot of creepy crawlies. I mean, we have some here in Michigan, but not
much.
Not venomous ones. Even down south, they have those one of those beetle things, the palmetto bugs. Not my thing. It's too cold up here for any of the big creepy crawlies to survive.
I see.
Tarantula would be cool, though. Ooh. Foul in a good spot. Here for SEAHOLM.
Yeah, tripped up on the play was Ukulai. They're going to mark it about the 20-yard line of the football field, so 30 yards from the net. And
they'll play it quickly, wasting no time, and it's whistled down almost as quickly as it starts. SEAHOLM trying to push it.
I want to go back to what you were mentioning about Adams and their culture here, Nate. Coach Hickey has done a great job of with the players that he's had and not playing with too much confidence based on all the talent they've gotten from all the Division I commits and the academy players that you have. You think you're playing so much better than everyone else, but you put yourself in perspective that we got to be able to compete for a full 80 minutes night in and night out.
Henderson can't feed it through the line in front of him. Now can Adams capitalize on their numbers? 3-on-2 opportunity. Donato, a feed that's just a little bit too strong. Like the idea, but just too much on it. By the way, soccer fans, players, coaches, and parents, did you know that MSN offers player highlight videos? We can take your current highlights or come out and record them for you and put them into a video that showcases your skills to get you to that next level. You can learn more at MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Again, that's MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Help us get you to that next level. Throw in just north of 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look back at how everything went down in half number 1, but already turning into what looks like a shootout in this first half.
Yeah, 3 goals in the first 15 and a half or so minutes, and then it's died down a little bit. We got about 5.5 minutes left here, Nate, before halftime, and SEAHOLM trying to find the equalizer here before half. They've had some good chances, but they need to be able to get control of the ball.
Good turnover in a good spot. Working this ball around. McLaughlin with it in the corner. The cross that's quickly denied. So we bleed inside of 5 minutes now. Talked about him a little bit earlier, though. Greg Perkins, the head coach of the SEAHOLM team. Anna Hackett leaving a comment. Grandma and Grandpa here in Traverse City cheering on Jamison Smith and Rochester Adams. So hello, Grandma and Grandpa. Can SEAHOLM tie it up? Not quite.
Yeah,
Leo Bellini. You see, chips it right up back to himself. Takes a shot on, just a little bit wide, and a good hustle in a good spot, but unable to tie it up. As Reed Dennis will kick it away.
Yeah, got himself right in the 18, just kind of nicked it off his foot, not the way he wanted to. And went a little over to the left and had to give himself a great chance in a great position, just couldn't capitalize on it.
Talking about him earlier, though, Greg Perkins, the head coach of the SEAHOLM team, was originally the head coach at Birmingham Groves before stepping down and taking the position at the school's rival in SEAHOLM. So one of the unique twists on that story, just 2 miles up the road after having a good career over at Groves. And oddly enough, there's a lot of lines of symmetry when it comes to soccer over on the east side of the state. Jonathan Turner was actually the head coach there at Groves for 5 seasons before Greg Perkins took over. So our very own JT is the head man there for a stretch of time.
Yeah, a lot of connections over here. No, it's just like a small world.
As they were 7-2-1 against SEAHOLM. Just had to work that one in there. Never forget. Couple of bodies hit the floor along the far side. 37 minutes into half number 1. JT keeps receipts, always.
Oh, able to make that jump over from Groves to SEAHOLM. Groves having a good year in the white. That's 6-3-1, and they're right now in 3rd place. Who's got a stoppage in play?
Ooh. We got another card upcoming here for SEAHOLM. Alex Martins will get the yellow. Let's take another look at this one here.
Not on the side.
Yeah, you could say that's a little late.
Yeah, Alex Rosine was down. Able to get back up.
Yeah, fortunately, Rosine, not one you want to lose, given his impact in this game already. So fortunately back to his feet here for Adams. Set piece as we approach just 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
It's been all over the place here tonight so far, Nate, and with a goal and an assist. Can't afford to lose him. One of your senior leaders throughout this season, and looking to make an impact as he jumps over into his next stage in start his collegiate career next year. But one task at a time here is both teams their regular season winding down in a couple of weeks and looking to be ready for that state playoff push. It's a winner-go-home situation, and based on the teams that they're going to face in the districts, it's not going to be easy to get out of there. So this is just great preparation for October soccer.
Feldmayer sending that one away. Quickly back into the possession here of Adams. Often in front, nearly a really good feed. I thought that was Donato that time up front. Just had it go wide of him a little bit. What do we have here? Donato. Ooh. Well, had an opening, but just sprayed it a little bit wide, and he knew it. He had the 1 goal in the game against Troy. Ugh. A foul ball.
Yeah, just misfired.
And it stays a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, he was just disappointed about that one after not shooting it to where he wanted it to go, but like I mentioned, he was the difference maker in that game versus Troy. We got another whistle, another Adams player down. That's
Rosine again. This poor kid. Now Jonathan Turner just really rubbing it in a little bit. Poor Donato. He'll be okay. He's going to Ohio State in a few years. He'll be just fine. Got to have a little sense of humor about it. Just about a minute left to go. Talking about Greg Perkins, though, coming over and taking over for the SEAHOLM program. It is bizarre to think you would go from one team to your rival just up the street, but if you have a better opportunity, may as well take it. But has gotten the chance to work with a lot of the kids at the club level around this area, so that kind of breeds familiarity with a lot of the players in the area. Took over the program in 22. Led SEAHOLM to a district title. Fell to Clarkston in his first season with this program. Final seconds bleeding away, though, in this first half. What an exciting first half it was. A lot to cover, a physical game. Can they get one more before it's all said and done? Chipped in front, kicked away there.
Just moving our way around. We have a few seconds left.
10 seconds left to go. Adams. Lilla is offsides. Looks like he was called offsides. Actually, it'll be an offsides the other way. So they will get Nuklaj on the offsides that time. And that will bring the first half to a close. Well, if you wanted high scoring and if you wanted fast paced, you picked the right conference and you picked the right ball game. 2-1 lead for Rochester Adams as we head into halftime. Nate Wangler and Alex Johnson will bring you back. Take a look at how everything went down in the first half. And then we'll get you ready for half number 2. Adams looking to continue their hot stretch and maybe capture an OAA red title. They have one more half to go here against the SEAHOLM team when we return. 2-1, Highlanders have the high ground here on the Michigan Soccer Network.
Are you looking to take your game to the next level? Did you know that MSN is now offering player recruitment videos? Our packages include a player profile where you show your preferred positions, the club, the league, or school that you play in, your current coach contact information, and more. The highlight videos could be self-submitted, 15 to 30 clips that will be put into a 3 to 7 minute long video. Video review of your Huddle, VO, or other platforms that you might have video on, as well as for an additional charge, MSN can come out and film games for you to create those clips. Our coach evaluation process, which is also an additional charge, where we have college coaches from various levels across the United States that will review your game film and provide feedback on how to improve that film, as well as also evaluating your play and what you can improve on. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
I'm a husband. I'm a father.
I'm a sister.
I'm a son. I'm a brother.
I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a referee.
I'm a referee.
I am a referee.
I'm a referee.
Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in!
Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75. Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
And we are back at SEAHOLM High School. A look here at the facilities. At SEAHOLM, that gym just across the way. Both the soccer, football schedules up on the wall. Look at that, beautiful facilities. Of course, SEAHOLM football has had an unbelievable start to their season. Soccer team looking to get back into this one. Some concession stand items. And now our highlights from the first half. Well, it began with that goal. Logan Lilla off a feed from Rosine. Just kind of tapped that one past Feldmeyer in goal. And then the other side, Nikolaj able to walk the tightrope, feed Henderson in front. Knotted the game back up at 1. That was at 8:15. And then the late goal, Rosine with the right. Feldmeyer just got a piece of it, but clearly it wasn't enough. Bleeds its way all the way into the goal, and that's been the difference maker in this one. But Adams and SEAHOLM's, both of them, a lot of opportunities in that first half. Good save that time by Reed Dennis. Obviously going to be a key player to keep them in this game. Leo Bellini chipping that one back to himself, but unable to finish the job. So that brings us 2-1. Rochester Adams out in front as we get ready for half number 2. We'll set it aside and be right back here on the Michigan Soccer Network.
He'll cut it back on his left foot, and that goes in! Towards the 6, a one-time shot, and it's 2. Now one with Everett, what a save! One-time shot! My goodness! One finds his way to the back. a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in! Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Look at the Maples emerging from the locker room here for half number 2. Putting up a strong fight against this Rochester Adams team. Obviously, we talked about just stacked with talent, but they were able to knot it up inside of 10 minutes with the goals. We get a look at some of our match statistics from this one so far here today. And overall, in terms of offensive opportunities, you see SEAHOLM has had a lot of shots, 4 of them compared to just 2. But we talk about efficiency on the other side for Adams. 2 shots, 2 on target, and a couple of goals in this game here today. But it just seems like the strategy so far for them has been lob it deep and allow their attackers in this plus speed that they have on this roster to go get after it, and clearly that's worked. To look at some of the scores from around MSN here today, by the way, very quickly. Plymouth Christian beating Oakland Christian, the MIAC Blue, a little bit earlier today, and our score right now at half. Adams up on SEAHOLM 2-1, but for Adams, really trying to focus on the speed and the athleticism of their attackers and those guys playing up front, and to this point, obviously it's worked out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worked out for them here in that first half. Just lob it up deep. We mentioned Rosine as well as Logan Lilla being the 2 players that have really sparked up this offense here for Adams here today. It's going to be tough for SEAHOLM here unless they're able to make some adjustment here. That's something that Coach Greg Perkins had to talk about with that team in that halftime break, to slow down and shut down this offense of Rochester Adams in order to give themselves a chance to get back into this game and really need some more possession with the ball. It was really dominated by Adams in that first half, and we're just lobbing it up, and no room for the SEAHOLM defense to settle in and make a stop defensively. They need to clean that up here in this second half in order to get back into this game and try to come away with 3 huge points here in this OAA Red matchup, which means everything to all these teams here tonight.
Speaking of spark, we'll see if SEAHOLM can find a spark here in half number 2. Ball's rolled out, and we are underway. 2-1 lead in favor of Adams. It was a physical first half. The one thing you know about OAA Red play, it's always going to be a dogfight. Really doesn't matter who it is. A couple yellows on the side of SEAHOLM. So far, all clean on the other side for Adams, but just trying to use that physical play SEAHOLM is to maybe take Adams out and just try to get through to him a little bit. Little jabs here or there, just to try and wear him down and get this one back to a 2-2 tie.
Yeah, you need to be able to gain the possession of the ball, and if you're able to do that, you're able to create some offense and able to play your style of play. Especially against a team like Adams, top 5 team in the state. It's a tall task. It's up to you to make that adjustment here in the second half.
Nudge to Lilla. Tries to go back to his left and find a white jersey in front, but it's chipped away there. Now Anthony Page sends one end over end into the middle of the box as it's cleared away on the defensive side by the team in maroon. Throw in here for Adams just a minute into the second half. Of course, we gave you a look at some of those other scores from across the Michigan Soccer Network. Now a feed in a good spot. Lilla, a hezzy, and a goal! The cross, the sauce, and the finish for Logan Lilla. Make it 3-1 in Logan Lilla's second goal of this game.
He just really fooled out Marco Rodriguez, the defender, and Brody Feldmayer unable to get a stop once again. That little crossover move, fooled him once again, and just in a little tapper like he did in that first goal, in the first 3 minutes. And Adams gets himself a 2-goal lead here early on in the second half.
Man, and if that's what you have to deal with on the defensive side for any team facing Adams the rest of this season, good luck. Logan Lilla. Unbelievable ball movement so far in this game for Adams, and Lilla adds his second goal of this game. And what a move in front of the goal to free himself up for that opportunity. You really feel for Feldmayer in goal in this game for SEAHOLM's. Had so much to deal with. That one pretty much point blank. And for Logan Lilla, another one of those names that will be going and playing at the college level. He's committed to play at Notre Dame, which, by the way, is one of the top men's soccer programs in the entire United States. They're one of the best. He'll be going there after his high school career wraps up.
Yeah, just incredible work, my Lilla here tonight. Just really patient with how his shot selection is. He doesn't panic. He had some room to work with. And realized what Feldmayer was going to do, and the defender, Marco Rodriguez, put himself in a difficult spot and just sent one home. And Notre Dame is going to be really happy what he's going to bring to the table next fall.
Rosine, too strong. And that is the first missed shot for Rochester Adams in this game today. We are 42 minutes in, over 42 minutes, and there's a look at our match stats. Alex Rosine, by the way, going to Notre Dame. My apologies. So Rosine will be going to ND, but 4 shots on goal, 3 on target, and 3 goals for Adams in this game. Unbelievable.
And Rosine's going to be another key guy that has been really strong all season long, and he's going to make himself known at the next level down in South Bend. But now puts SEAHOLM in a difficult spot. They allowed an early goal to start the game. Now coming out here in the second half, and something Greg Perkins did not want to do. Put yourself in a difficult spot. Trailing by 2 here early on in the second half. Trying to get over this mountaintop here against this team like Adams. Has been really taking control of the possession of the ball all night long and tiring your defense out with all the lob passes they've been throwing down one end of the field to the other. And it's been Lilla and Rosine just running all over the Maples here tonight.
Towards midfield as we wind our way towards 5 minutes in the second half. Coming up for Adams. So this one on the road, back home for a couple of games. This one's rolled in towards goal. It was the aforementioned Rosine that was looking for a white jersey back in the middle, but deflected on net. As Feldmayer continues play. Here 44-17 in. Good feet ahead, but an offside's called. Rosine caught over the line. So ball here back to SEAHOLM. But a couple of home matchups. Utica Ford also take on Berkeley at home. Berkeley, another one of those teams ranked inside the top 10 in the state of Michigan. So that's the thing. You never really get a week off. You never really get a matchup off when you're in this conference. You play one really good team, then you go to next week and maybe a couple of days later, and you have to play someone else who's ranked inside of that top 10. But just recently had our rankings show. If you want to check out the new #1 teams from Division I through Division IV, go to MI Soccer Network, at MI Soccer Network on X. You can check out those new top rankings that have been released here in the Division I level.
Yeah, a lot of those good, long, strong talent. Almost every team in the top 10. Oxford, Rochester Adams, Troy Athens, Troy, Berkeley, SEAHOLM getting an honorable mention here tonight. And it just showed.
Looking back towards the middle, not able to connect on that feed. But yeah, laundry list of names, to your point.
Yeah, I'm just saying every team is just right neck and neck with each other in that poll. And you can move them around or flip-flop them around, and it could be relatively similar to based on the style of play that these teams have played with all season long.
Luke Alage, who had that assist back in the first half. Liam Kerr tries to steer this one on net, but gets it back. So he has it sent away from him out of bounds. It will remain with SEAHOLM. Little road stretch for this team after they conclude this game against Adams. Back-to-back road matchup, Bloomfield Hills, Cranbrook, Kingswood. And then on the road at Rochester for their final home game of the 2024 season. That one coming up against Berkeley, and then Royal Oak on the road. That one mishandled along the out-of-bounds line. It'll give it back to Adams here just past 5 minutes and a half, number 2, 46-38 into this one.
Yeah, Cranbrook, their next game, a top team in the Catholic League in the AA division, have made a lot of key success in Division II. And they got Rochester, who's near at the bottom of the standings, trying to pick up their first win in OAA play before the season ends. Then Berkeley and Royal Oak, two strong programs as well.
What do we have here? Spirited conversation here between the referee and Greg Perkins. Get a look at some of the scores from around the OAA Red, by the way. Troy High taking on Berkeley tonight. It looks like Troy, ranked number 3, they're out in front 2-1 in that ball game as we speak.
Yeah, Troy looking to bounce back after that loss to Adams last week. Berkeley tied.
Good feed. And a save by Feldmayer. Rebound! And that one finds the net. Just like that, Anthony Page in a flash. And it's all Adams. Here in half number 2, it's 4-1.
Just sending it down the field again, this time to the senior Anthony Page. And just Feldmeyer once again out of position and able to take advantage of it. And Adams is really in right now, up by 3 early on here in this second half. Nate, let's take a look at it again. It was off of Feldmeyer. Rodriguez unable to defend it back up as he just got right back up and just fired it through the back of the net.
I always say persistence pays off, and it certainly did on that one for Page. Another senior getting in on the action, 4 goals. Logan Lilla with 2. Alex Rosine with an assist as well as a goal, and now Anthony Page getting in on the action with that most recent one. That lead continues to balloon, now 4-1. And Rochester Adams giving SEAHOLM the same treatment they've been giving a lot of their recent opponents. So when it rolls out of bounds, Reed Dennis will be the one to kick it away.
Yeah, it's been way too strong here for Adams, just really pulling away here from SEAHOLM right now, really showing to the rest of the OAA that they're going to be a top team to look out for, come playoff time, and they're going to be ready. It was a little bit off to a slow start, but they're able to come back up here. They've gone on a really impressive streak over the last few weeks, and they're continuing here tonight.
SEAHOLM just needs something to get into the back of the net to get some semblance of that confidence back. It was a header back in that first half that gave them their 1 goal.
And that was in the 9th minute off of Chase Henderson, who had a PK last night in their win against Country Day, the top team in Division III. I mentioned our score updates we've had was game between 2-1 in favor of Troy over Berkeley. Troy avenging that loss from Adams last week. Berkeley tied Oxford last Tuesday night in the battle of 2 top 10 teams.
It was interesting. That was a 1-0 finish against Adams for Troy, too. That will most certainly result in a stoppage of play. Chase Henderson, who has the 1 goal in this game for SEAHOLM, Little leg-to-leg contact that time on the other side. Got Maxwell Kraft. Kraft still down on the ground here. You see him wearing that brace on his left leg. That will stop the clock as Reed Dennis out to check on his teammate.
Right now near the 20-yard line, as a few of his teammates are around him. Athletic trainer coming out to take a look at him.
We could take a look at some of our goals here from this game so far. Here in the second half, Logan Lilla adding his second of the game. The entire team jogging over to join him. And then the most recent one, Anthony Page. Feldmeyer makes a save. Page able to get it back on his left leg. Wearing that captain patch on his left arm makes it 4-1 in favor of Adams. And, you know, now you're starting to see this team gel, this team really start to play as one. And I think that's a really inspiring thing to see, especially if you're Josh Hickey. Not everyone coming back and making a difference as well. Maxwell Kraft, by the way, and look at him as he comes off the field. So just shy of 50 minutes into this one. Carlos Carrillo checking back into the game. Saw a little bit from him in that first half as he's back in now here for Rochester. Adams with a 3-goal lead. But this is what it looks like. I mean, it's not just a matter of getting talent, but it's a matter of finding a way for that talent to blend and mesh. And I think the one most telling aspect of that, at least in this game so far, has been their ball movement. It has been immaculate, really, on the offensive side.
Yeah, they've been firing on all cylinders. They're playing like a complete team. You know, they're not just relying on their main guys who are going to be going on to the Division I level to play next year, but they have their other guys, their counterpieces that have really settled in together. And it's just been a really great work of play, for this team, especially as they're trying to get back up to the mountaintop like they did a couple years ago under the head coach of Josh Hickey, who has done phenomenal work this season after leading the girls program to a state championship last June. Looking to continue that here tonight and the rest of this season. Come down to October, because you want to be able to play your top notch of soccer, especially in those games where if you win, you move on. If you lose, your season's done in a flash.
And being able to gain that reputation as a team that's right near the top every single year is a tough thing to do on this side of the state. There's a look at the match stats. 6 shots total, 5 on target, 4 goals for the Highlanders here tonight. So more shots than not have ended up in the back of the net for this Adams team. But one thing we've picked up on, certainly nothing slow, nothing methodical about their approach. Just go, 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 go in this game tonight. And it's resulted in those results you just saw on your screen. 4-1 as we just passed the 50th minute here between these two. Lights are on here at the stadium, though. Throw in for Adams. Glistening off the turf surface here at SEAHOLM High School. What has turned into a very comfortable night for soccer here tonight.
Yeah, they were talking about no rain in the forecast, later on the last couple of days, or maybe seeing thunderstorms, but that has died off, out of the picture, which was a good thing. Is that the Tigers were supposed to play a night game tonight, but the game got pushed up because of the weather pending, as we got an offsides call.
So based on the results tonight, or what would be based on the results here tonight, here's a look at the live standings, live updated standings here in the OAA Red. No surprise, Rochester Adams towards the top, actually at the top, 13 points. Troy High, who they just beat not that long ago, right behind him in second. Troy Athens in third, who has really been the Achilles heel for this Adams team over the last couple of seasons. Berkeley and Oxford rounding out the top 5 in that list. Athens, by the way, is playing tonight, but they're not playing in the red. So a non-conference matchup here tonight for Troy Athens.
Yeah, they're going to be another team to look out for. They've been a strong program over the last few seasons, and it's been great to see how Troy Athens has been. They have made it to a few state finals.
Good feed, Dennis. Too quick, though. hops on top of that one.
Yeah, Troy Athens was the defending champs from a season ago, defeating Brighton in last year's state final, 2-1 in OT.
Athens, by the way, playing that game at home against Clarkston tonight. And have a couple games on the road after that against Oxford and Detroit Catholic Central. Talking about Athens against Adams, though, they have, in a lot of ways, kind of been the Achilles heel for this team. They were shut out against him last time they played, 2-0. That is actually the only loss on the season so far for this Adams team. So if that tells you anything about what Troy Athens brings to the table, clearly really talented squad out there to be able to handle this Adams team, which only seems like it's getting tougher for a lot of the other teams.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they can meet again in the regionals. No, first things first, in the playoffs, in districts. It's going to be tough for them. Troy Athens out in that Royal Oak district with Troy, Royal Oak, SEAHOLM, Groves, and Berkeley. Just a few teams in there, so that'll be a tall task for them. And then Adams in the Rochester district, they'll have their district rivals, Rochester, Stony Creek.
Turnover in a good spot. Dennis is saved, but he can't collect it. Now back to his feet as he's able to dive on it and save it from getting anywhere further out of hand. Sent on net that time, Alberto Corrales. Reed Dennis. Corrales to Dennis. Is he'll rugby punt this one away.
Yeah, had a good shot attempt on it. Just sent it right over to Dennis.
Second save in this one, by the way, for Dennis. We're talking about the Athens-Adams matchup. It's actually last season that Adams beat Athens in the regular season, had 12 wins in that stretch, but then got to the regionals after winning a district title and actually ended up falling to Troy Athens 2-1 in that one. So the last two matchups between those two teams been in favor. Now Feldmayer holding his arm here.
Number 9, Kiefer Horniak. Number 11, Luke Linovitz.
So a little bit of confusion. Ball has not been down there for a few minutes now, so you have to wonder maybe if this is a nagging injury, something that was already existing. Feldmayer continues to move that right arm around, and you see him kind of nursing the shoulder a little bit. Conversation continues here. Greg Perkins out to check on him.
Yeah,
Assistant Manny Rodriguez, by the way, on the SEAHOLM team. But, yeah, that kind of puzzling, Alex, because ball hasn't been down there in a little bit. Obviously, he's been really active today. He's had to lay out for a lot of balls and do everything he can to keep his team in the game. But odd how it's kind of popping up now.
Yeah, no, these kind of 55 minutes almost, into this game, and we haven't seen a lot of action down here as of late, so they're just checking in on him rather, just making sure everything is all right. It looks like he's going to stay in the game.
All right, well, now's a good time to tell you guys, every Sunday night, join Giovanni and Dan Stickrat. They release the Michigan High School Soccer Coaches Association top 15 teams from each division, Division 1 through 4. That's live on YouTube, Roku, Facebook. You can also find it on Twitter or X at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. MSN is your home for soccer in the state of Michigan. So Reed Dennis will check out of this game for Adams. They're going to get some reps for the sophomore in Beach. Maybe trying to figure out exactly what happened to Feldmayer. Didn't react at all there. And maybe something here caused it.
Well, maybe you see
he's been hitting the ground a lot here today. There you see trying to extend to save that one, and maybe just repeatedly over and over again trying to lay out for a lot of these shots by Adams. Maybe you assume one of them was finally able to jar something free or make him feel something. I mean, nonetheless, he's still in this game, so clearly whatever it is that's ailing him is not bad enough to knock him out of the game.
Yeah, not like an instant reaction like off that last goal he let up that went off of him. It was like a few minutes later, about like 7-8 minutes apart.
Swing and a miss on that feed. Out of bounds for a goal kick. By the way, Sam Beach taking over in goal for Rochester. Adams. So Reed Dennis out of the game. A couple of big saves for him in this one. And now an opportunity for the sophomore in Beach to come back behind him and play some minutes. Yeah. And the nice thing is having someone like Dennis in front of you, if you're Beach, to learn from. And obviously that helps you only get better as a program as the years go along. So we'll have to see what Beach can present here. Offside's called. Nikolaj, a little too antsy getting over the line there, and it's back to Adams as we cross 15 minutes here in the second half, and kind of expecting things to stay where they are. 4-1 seems like a comfortable lead, but Adams not content with that quite yet. Rosine. Talila. Spikes one off the back of his teammate. Donato. Skies one towards the net. Lilla takes a hack at it. But it's turned back the other direction as it rolls back out towards the 30.
Yeah, it's good that Adams is not playing too comfortable right now. They want to be able to keep up their intensity going for the rest of this game and not let SEAHOLM get any chance to get back into this. As Beach makes the stop, and it's just great for him to learn from Dennis as he continues to grow and as he's only a sophomore in his young high school career. Going to be taking over that rankings in his next 2 years.
And obviously for SEAHOLM, still figuring out how to navigate this conference. I have to imagine that was a pretty exciting opportunity when they, after the realignment last season, becoming a part of this OAA Red Conference in soccer. But obviously it comes with the understanding that you're going to be tested. There's going to be some new things you have to work through. There's a look at that poll, by the way. Rochester Adams was the favorite from the beginning, by the way. We saw that number drop a little bit. 36 total votes here tonight. And everybody giving the nod to the Highlanders.
And they're going to be a team to watch come playoff time, and we've mentioned that throughout the course of the broadcast. As this is going to be a team that is complete here. There's not a lot of complete teams, but Rochester Adams is one of them. They have everything. They run from the star players.
Can they add one more yet? Rosine couldn't feed it through. Now SEAHOLM trying to find Nikolaj. Instead it's Henderson. Ooh, shut off properly that time on the defensive side.
Yeah, it just shows how difficult it is to get past that wall here as we get another offsides. And that's been their strong suit here tonight for Adams. Just very little holes through that defense that SEAHOLM couldn't capitalize on. And it's just another part of this team that makes Adams so strong, in Division I. With the core group they have, with the talent players up front scoring-wise, and then you have your defense that will back you up behind you. And then Dennis, being strong in that, having that senior leadership. It's a recipe for success, for Coach Hickey and for this Adams team.
Almost looked like a handball there, but nothing called as we continue play. SEAHOLM continues to bark out for one as it's lofted back the midway point and out of bounds. Adams with possession inside of 20 minutes to go until the end of this one. By the way, wanted to mention this earlier as Donato tries to fight his way towards that ball, taken away by Rodriguez. Let's look at some of the match stats here for the Maples tonight. But you're talking about how MSN helps a lot of the local players get to that next level, an opportunity for you guys to get a lot of your highlights out there. I heard earlier today a lot of the players that have worked with MSN in the past, who have moved on to the college level over at Michigan State with their women's soccer program, recently named the #1 team in the country over at MSU. The conversation here on the field looks like Drew Stice getting a talking to, but a lot of those players who have worked with MSN now playing for the Spartans ranked #1 in the country. So congratulations to them as they continue their trip late into the season and look to maybe add a national championship once it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's been really strong for the Michigan State women's soccer program over the last few seasons and having some huge runs in the national.
Rosine chips one in front, and it's offsides. Rosine to Page, just a little too far in front. Conversation between the two referees to figure out if Page was in fact offsides on that one. Let's take another look. It is certainly close. What say you, Alex Johnson?
It was just borderline. It looked like maybe it was a hair in front of Caden Cotilla, and they're going to call it offsides. I think it was just a hair above. Just a difficult call. Got to give the benefit to the call to the official there. Those are just so tough to make. And then trying to add another one here as well, but unfortunately that one gets waved off. And I also want to go back, before that shot attempt, Nate, on the Michigan State women's soccer team. Is they're having a great season so far, and they're being ranked #1, and congratulations to them. They're a team that have made a huge run to the NCAA tournament the last few seasons, win the Big Ten regular season a year ago, and they took down Penn State, one of their big rivals. Back on Sunday, it was a 1-0 win.
And I think what's cool about that is it kind of highlights the talent base that you have in the state of Michigan. And obviously not all of them from the state of Michigan, but it's really cool to see a lot of those players that have worked with MSN in the past and have gotten a lot of that exposure now going out and doing it on the college level. And just a good reminder to anybody watching here tonight, players, coaches, want to give you the platform to be able to continue to get that exposure. Cool to see the Spartans doing exactly that, really starting to take hold in the Big Ten Conference on the women's side. Slow roll out of bounds far side, 4-1 as we continue to cruise towards the finish in this one. And it looks like Adams can pretty much cruise to the finish line if they want, but not satisfied with just 4. They've been trying to add a few more here in this one. And obviously these reps matter too. I mean, as you get towards the end of the season, you don't want to mail it in at any point, but important to continue to try new stuff, move the ball different ways, and try to figure out all the answers you need to figure out before you get to postseason play.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be able to take advantage of every opportunity you can. In these games, Adams was just about less than 16 minutes away, rather, from
Dukalaj. Well, Beach didn't need to jump for that one, but makes the save anyways.
Yeah, got double teamed. That was Nikolai's Beach coming out of the net to send it out of play, resulting in a SEAHOLM corner kick.
Can they cut the lead in half? No, they cannot. Sent out of bounds back behind the goal. Beach be the one to kick it away. Caden Cotilla, the one on that attempt here for SEAHOLM.
Yeah, not what they wanted to do there, trying to get themselves back in the game, but couldn't. They've had a few of those chances here tonight. And going back to Adams, looking at what they're going to have here in the district, they're going to have their district rivals, Rochester, Stony Creek, then a couple of the Utica school teams, Sterling Heights, Stevenson, and
Nukalaj, what a move. Beach, able to shut it off, though. He's been doing his best to try and get SEAHOLM back in. There you go, back to the left. Good awareness by Beach to lay out and get that one.
He had that assist earlier here tonight on that goal by Henderson. Then going back to what Adams is going to have in the playoffs, they'll have also Utica Eisenhower in the top of the red.
What a lob on. Feldmeyer a save. Logan Lilla nearly a hat trick.
Off the cleat of Feldmeyer. They've just been lobbing it all over here tonight. They're just making it way too easy.
Last time I saw a hat trick on the Michigan Soccer Network, it was actually Forest Hills Central's Eli Lipke for the Rangers playing against Holland. He actually had a 4-goal game, so it was a hat trick plus one. A natural hat trick as opposed to an unnatural hat trick. Inside of 15 minutes. About 13:30 to go. Adams. Lilla. And there it is! Let your hats fly! Logan Lilla. A hat trick. Adds one more, 5-1. And it's the Adams family on full display.
Yeah, right on point, Nate. You mentioned the potential hat trick coming for Lilla, and you said it right on cue. Right down the middle, down Main Street.
Oh, they're wasting no time. SEAHOLM going back the other direction. Beach steps up and grabs it. But what an unbelievable performance from one Logan Lilla tonight.
Yeah, just incredible work for this young man, and looking to be a vital piece, for a potential state playoff run for Adams, and just showing once again, they're going to be one of the top teams to look out for, one of the top favorites, to win it all. So get another offsides for Adams here tonight. Everything clicking right now. Their offense or their defense, everything is working together right now.
Lilla's first goal back just north of 2 minutes in the first half. Added one just moments into half number two, a minute and a half into the second half. And then in the 66th minute, that most recent one gives him a hat trick, and it gives Adams a 5-1 lead. And in a conference where nothing is a guarantee, you and I, Alex, were talking about this earlier. We said expect a close matchup, expect a physical matchup. But it really has been anything but. Here in half number two, Adams has been in takeover mode.
Yeah, just playing on a whole different level right now. After SEAHOLM made it interesting early on in this game, there was just a 1-goal lead at halftime, and then Adams really put on the Jets.
Persistence, endurance, all of that. And that's the thing about depth that really helps out a program. It's not just about having a lot of different options you can go to. It's about having a lot of different healthy options and different legs to rotate on in different situations. As they'll get one more set-piece opportunity just north of 10 minutes to go. There, as you see at the bottom left part of your screen, Logan Lilla, hat trick. Can they get 6? It's through the uprights. And good. Would have counted for 3 in another sport, but not tonight. as they will, well, I'd say a hockey line change, but it looks like more than 5 to me. So the entire Adams team coming off the field and the rest of the Adams team going on the field. So there you go.
Yeah, just getting some of the guys off the bench, getting them some experience here. As
a mass exodus of the starters from this game. But what an unbelievable performance by this Adams team. And, you know, I was talking to Dan Stickrad. It was actually right before that game against Troy where they were able to win that one in a 1-0 shutout. And, you know, he's giving me the scouting report. And obviously with him being a journalist for as long as he has over on this side of the state of Michigan and covering soccer here over on the east side, he knows a thing or two about a lot of the programs. And he was mentioning Adams, all the talent they've gotten back, all the kids they got back from the academy. And he said on an individual talent basis, they are one of the best, if not the best team in the state. But obviously the question always is, and it always remains, right, you can have great individual talent but not put it together. Well, Josh Hickey, for whatever reason, has figured out how to put it together for this team over the course of the last couple of weeks. And really exciting to see. And, of course, for any alums or people who have already played for this program, to see them gelling the way that they are, I don't think it's anywhere out of the ordinary to consider that they may well be on their way to yet another state title in just the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see how they do, how they pan out. You know, there's going to have some tough competition along the way, but they're going to be ready for it. We mentioned they have a complete team. You know, the coach, you know, has been really solid, been phenomenal. Coach Josh Hickey. And looking forward to what this team is going to do here and try to get back up to that state championship like they did a few years ago.
Every team makes the playoffs. Every team. Of course, on the other side for SEAHOLM, thing is about high school soccer here in Michigan, everybody makes the playoffs. So it's one of the things about, you know, you don't want to say necessarily that it takes away from the importance of the regular season. It's just different because you don't have to win a certain amount of games. You don't have to have a certain record. As there's a yellow card, we'll have another SEAHOLM player sent off the field here. That is the third in this game. This time it's Drew Stice, third different player to draw a yellow in this matchup. And it's off a dissent. Here's you see him make a comment. Draws the card and gets sent off, but...
And they wanted the whistles. Cole Baldwin was knocked down. Looked like that was R.J. Pompa. Should have gotten a foul call in his mind.
Not happy about it. Throwing his hands up. Sent on net. Past a couple of maroon jerseys as it rolls out here near side. And out of bounds. Possession still hanging out, though, with SEAHOLM as we are inside of 10 minutes now. But just a frustration result to that play as Stice gets sent off. But as I was saying, everybody makes the playoffs. And so even if you have a night like tonight, you kind of have to use it as a measuring stick kind of game. Use this film, look back at it. What do you like? What do you not like? What needs to change? Because clearly, I mean, this was a 1-goal game at halftime, as you and I were talking about. It was just a matter of endurance and Adams figuring out something in that second half, kind of taking the SEAHOLM team by storm. But this is all really valuable tape when you think about the fact that you will have a chance, by hook or by crook. It doesn't matter how this ends. You will have a chance to play in the playoffs come season's end.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you have a lot of time left, still a few weeks, you know, to get ready for that playoff run, and you'll be in that Royal Oak district, in the same district as Troy, Athens, Groves, and Berkeley, and a few other teams in there. So it's not going to be easy for SEAHOLM if they want to get past, you know, the first round of the playoffs, because they'll have to face either one or two of those top teams. You know, and that district is going to be extremely tough and crucial. It's with Berkeley, Troy, and Athens. No, all those 3 teams in our top 10, only one of them is going to get out of there.
Right. Well, make sure you get the latest soccer news from around the state each day at MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. All of the latest and greatest from around high school soccer and all the different levels here in the state of Michigan. Talking about the college level a little bit earlier. That Michigan State women's team right now ranked number 1 in the country. The NCAA Division I standings. Men's program still trying to figure some things out, but that women's program has been on the up and up. They've been great over the last couple of seasons, and that talent level, that pool continuing to grow here in the state of Michigan. But you could also argue just in general, soccer continuing to grow in the United States. Obviously not at the level they want it to be at quite yet. I mean, there are just certain countries, you think about Argentina, Spain, you're essentially born with a soccer ball on your foot. Not quite the same here in the United States, but continuing to become more and more popular. And we've seen a lot of the fruits of that labor on the women's side. Obviously, they've gone out and they've won World Cups and gold medals. But the developmental side on the men's side of things also getting better.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the talent pool coming in here in the United States and looking to compete with all the other countries in South America and Europe, with the Premier League and all the other professional leagues around, the U.S., having the MLS, but trying to get up to that standard, the Premier League, where it's just dominant soccer and everyone is just a diehard fan. But I've liked how soccer has grown a lot here in this country and how many players are participating, from the youth level to high school to college. It just really shows. And there's a lot of those international players come over to play collegiate soccer, mostly at the NAIA level. Especially when I was covering Rochester and University of Northwestern Ohio, there was mostly international players on that Northwestern Ohio team.
Oh yeah, Uno. It's pretty much all international players. Inside of 5, towards net. Beach punches it aside, out of position though. This one rolls its way back out. Here's a look at it again. Beach coming off his line there at the last second. Little right hook to smack that one aside.
Yeah, making himself known here, trying to utilize his time in net, based on the score of the game here right now. But there's just a lot of talent that they were able to find, from out of the U.S. and bring them over here to the collegiate level, and it's a different transition for all those players, to know what the school's about and buy into the system. And
our final vote for the game here tonight. Still 32% of people thinking that SEAHOLM could pull it off. We'll see. But a big thank you to everybody joining us here at the Michigan Soccer Network here tonight. So we wind our way now inside of 4 minutes. We'll take a look back at how everything went down in this one. And Alex, and sometimes you have games where it's tough to decide exactly who the player of the match is. How about 6? Can Adams get it? On net! Oh, and it sneaks in! Why not? Yasir Hamdan. A little insurance. Inside of 3 minutes, Feldmayer probably be the most excited to see this one come to an end. He has just been under a barrage in this one.
And Adams just continuing to attack as Hamdan able to maneuver his way through good footwork off to the defenseman Caden Cotilla and sent one through the back of the net. And Adams continues to pour it on here. Late in this one here, Nate, and not letting their foot off the gas. If all their starters out, this will be a time, just for these players to come in, give themselves an opportunity to make themselves known here. And
yeah, and I mean, the win over Troy, was a big one. Obviously, they were able to defeat a team that was undefeated in the OAA Red, but there's a difference between a win like that and then a win where you're trying to make a statement. And I think that's what it is here tonight against the SEAHOLM team. 4 unanswered goals in this second half. Bump from behind. Brady Adragna So we'll get a look at this one on the replay. Ooh. Yeah, that'll get called.
And this SEAHOLM team, they came in winning 6 out of their last 7. Their only tie was against Oxford back on the 16th, and they were going off a huge win against Country Day. It was a non-conference game, but playing a top team in Division III, on the number 1 team, you thought you were having some good momentum coming into this game against Adams, but Adams just really showing that they have been really strong here all season long, and SEAHOLM hasn't been able to make any adjustments, in the second half, and that's been the difference here so far, when you look back at this game.
Evan Sachs. On net. Too high. Technically, not on net. Over the net.
Yeah, just elevated that. Wanted that one to go through, but put a little bit too much on it. And that's just been the story for SEAHOLM. They've had so many chances, to get a couple to go through, but they've just been off target. They'll look to bounce back in their next game against Cranbrook, and then they'll play Rochester next Tuesday, a team that is winless in OAA red play.
Uh-oh. Adams. Feldmeyer a save.
And Adams just continuing to put on the pressure. And that shot attempt was off of Feldmeyer. That was Will Kelly was trying to find his way through the back of the net.
Would have been the 4th goal scorer in this game here tonight. Instead, it stays 6-1 as now SEAHOLM just tries to get out of this game. There's you say, letting that one roll out the back. It'll be Feldmeyer to boot it away. Obviously, a lot to look at in terms of film and figuring out where to go after this. But these can also be character-building games at the same exact time if you're someone like SEAHOLM, too. There's nothing more that'll help a team learn from some of their mistakes more than going up against a top-ranked team like Adams and really having it put on you the way it was here tonight. This one popped up and over the goal. Is it a foul inside the box? That's the question now.
It looked like the official signaled corner like he was pointing out that way.
So it's outside the box. Final seconds are bleeding away, and we'll see if SEAHOLM can get one for the confidence here. Sent on. And a save by Beach. The sophomore. Looking like Superman. And that will bring us to a close. 6-1 the final. Rochester Adams rolls through SEAHOLM. As they get the win here tonight, they improve to 9-1-3 on the season. Still just one loss in conference play, and as we were taking a look at a little bit earlier, now ranked number 1 in the OAA Red Conference. Take a look at some of the plays from this one. Here was Logan Lilla, hat trick in this ball game tonight. That was goal number 1. SEAHOLM was able to respond quickly inside of 10 minutes in the first half. Henderson with a header into the back of the net, but then it was Adams that was able to take the lead off this goal from Rosine going into halftime. The ND commit, and then coming out for half number 2, it was all Adams. Reed Dennis with a save there. Logan Lilla, unbelievable footwork. Adds one there. Chips it up, gets it back to himself, adds another one there to complete the hat trick. And then Adams, a few more just for the fun of it. This was the offsides called. Anthony Page nearly had one. But generally speaking, Alex, just what an offensive onslaught from Adams here tonight. Able to find all of their big-time threats and clearly putting everybody on notice here in the MHSAA.
Yeah, absolutely. They did here tonight. No, they were led by Logan Lilla, the hat trick for him here tonight. And just impressive for him and for this Rochester Adams team to come in on the road against SEAHOLM, a team that was won 6 out of their last 7 games, and really shut them down and couldn't get anything going through the rest of this game after allowing an early one to go through. But they're able to prevail on and play their style of play and ran away here with this victory here tonight.
Ran away is right. Thorough domination from beginning to end in this one for Adams, as they continue to roll in the right direction. And a look at the final save to cap off what was an unbelievable game. Sam Beach, the sophomore, taking some valuable lessons from one Reed Dennis. As that'll be our final score, 6-1, Rochester Adams able to pull out the victory. Well, the upcoming slate of games tomorrow, Rochester Christian and Cleary University, 2 o'clock start time for that one right here on the Michigan Soccer Network. And then 5:30, Buchanan and Dowagiac going head-to-head in that one. Then coming up on Saturday, some more Rochester Christian action, the women's and the men's side. First game at 12, second game coming up at 5. But again, one last time, 6-1, our final. There's a look at the updated conference standings. Rochester Adams, no doubt, since bringing back all those different players, they have been an absolute steamroller through the conference. So again, 6-1, our final score. Logan Lilla with a hat trick to topple SEAHOLM 6-1. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow for Rochester Christian soccer action, as well as Buchanan and Dowagiac. And until we talk to you guys then, this has been Alex Johnson and Nate Wangler here on the Michigan Soccer Network. We'll talk to you next time.
This has been a presentation on the National Soccer Network.